I definitely think the media distorts what the average weight and size is for females. There's not a day that goes by that you don't pass by a magazine, open a magazine, turn the TV, and see kind of this perfect, ideal image of a woman, which is tall, skinny, usually blonde. I think a lot of girls are under pressure to meet those standards of what they see on TV. I think they're under a lot of pressure from their friends, family. I think America all around has kind of the ideal image of what a woman should look like, and unfortunately it's not healthy.
Mass media, particularly magazines, have a great deal of impact on the way females view their body size. Our society has shifted their views of how we perceive beauty. In 1960, Marilyn Monroe was considered one of the most beautiful women in America, and at this time Monroe was a size 12. Today, the average woman on a magazine cover is a size 2. However, the average woman in America is a size 10 to 14. Therefore, magazines are giving females in America a false representation of how the female body is perceived. In our first case study, researchers have found substantial evidence that consumers' product choices are significantly influenced by media coverage. This article shows how consumers perceive these sources not only as neutral, but as credible sources of information. Some of the most significant conclusions drawn from this study are: there is strong evidence of positive influence of advertising on coverage, peer pressure from competing publishers affect coverage decisions, and larger, more innovative companies are at an advantage for obtaining coverage for their products. These findings raise concerns about the independence of editorial content and coverage of magazines.
Growing up in high school, I was always chubby, so I always felt the need that I had to meet up to the standards. A lot of people kind of would make fun of me, they'd look down upon me because I wasn't like the girls in the magazines. A lot of my friends in high school would wear all the latest fashion trends, they would try to look like those girls on TV, and I didn't, and I think it affected me a lot, self-esteem and confidence. Right now, I'm healthy, it doesn't really affect me anymore, but working in the nursing field, I see how it affects a lot of people. When I was doing my psych rotation, I dealt with a lot of anorexic girls who were just obsessed and looked up so much to these girls like Kate Moss, models that were sickly thin and not healthy, and I think it really contributed to their disease.
Our second case study shows a strong relationship between sexually objectifying media and two sets of criterion: negative body image and sexual dysfunction. The survey conducted demonstrated that body surveillance mediated the relationship between exposure to sexually objectifying magazines and body shame, appearance anxiety, and body image self-consciousness during physical intimacy. This study only reinforces the negative connotation that body image places those who read or subscribe to fashion magazines in a negative mindset, which later leads to other dysfunctional characteristics.
I do think the media does affect the way that women do view their bodies and how it has to do with that, because obviously that's all, they're not going to really put unattractive people on the cover of magazines, and it doesn't, like, looking at skinny, pretty people is attractive and makes people want to read more about it, but I think that girls, if they were brought up already having high self-esteem, like I was, my parents were always telling us that my sisters and I were pretty, and, we didn't really have body issues growing up, so we can pick up those magazines and not really be affected by it because we were built with the steps how to be strong, independent, high self-esteem girls. I don't feel really the need. Obviously everybody wants to look good, and it's not all about looks, it's about taking care of your body health-wise too. And a lot of the magazines do have things, how to eat right and what exercises to do to keep up your body. So it's really not all about superficial looks, it's really about health too, I think.
Based on our interviews and research, we determined that media constructs active messages that produce an unrealistic body image for women. Specific magazines have a great deal of influence on the way women view body image. Magazines show women at a body weight that is unrealistic for most people to obtain in a healthy manner. Therefore, these messages that are being constructed by the media are serving a false way of portraying what the ideal woman should look like.